Welcome to another episode of AniBreak, the show where we break down the week's hottest topics in anime, manga, and video games. My name's Jason,
And I'm Brian.
and what have you been up to, Brian? Haven't seen you in a little bit.
Let's see. So since the last show,
Mm-hmm.
I was on. I went to Motaku to DJ in Kansas City,
Mm-hmm.
and that was a lot of fun. It's I think the attendance was somewhere around like maybe 1,000, 1,500 or so, but it was definitely a lot of fun hanging out with a few friends that I met the last few times I was out there. So.
That's cool. Glad to get out there and actually meet a lot of different people, go out to different cons all over the country.
Yes, yes, very much so.
You have any plans or any other cons you're going to hit up in the near future?
Let's see. For DJing,
Mm-hmm.
at the end of September, at the end of the month, I'll be in Reno for Snafu Con,
Nice.
and then at the beginning of November, I'll be in the Midwest again for Nebraska Con in Omaha.
Okay. That should be fun. Any other cons you plan to hit up not as a DJ, but just for the hell of it?
I'm considering visiting, what was it, AkiCon.
Mm-hmm.
That's in Bellevue, which is a suburb outside of Seattle. There's a lot of friends that I know there from previous soccer cons.
Nice.
And then other than that, the usual local stuff, probably planning for PMX as well.
Mm-hmm. I'm thinking about actually trying to hit up. I think it's in 2 weeks in LA. It's gonna be a
Uh-huh.
Kamikaze Expo.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I heard about that. Haven't really made any plans for that one though.
Yeah, it's only its second year. It's a mix. It's a hodgepodge of comics,
Mm,
anime, manga, sci-fi. I mean,
right.
you have a number of anime voice actors.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have a number of great comic artists. I mean, hell, Stan Lee's gonna be there to cover a lot of the events.
Nice,
There's a
nice.
couple different unique events that I want to go check out. They're all on the website. I think it's kamikazeexpo.org, I think, or something like that. I'll look it up later.
Cool.
But let's talk about something first. What should we do, Ryan?
Uh,
Want to talk about the card
let's,
first?
yeah, sure.
All
Why
right,
not?
go for it.
All right. So, the JACCS credit card company debuted an official Fate Zero credit card. I believe it's a Visa. Yes, and they're going to start accepting applications on the 18th of the month. And this is actually not the official design. If you look
Nope.
in the bottom right corner, it says now printing. So the final design hasn't been decided yet. But apparently, let's see.
This is
Yeah.
definitely not the first nor the last um, anime series to actually receive its own credit card. I mean, I know last week, I know Michael and I were talking about, or 2 weeks ago, Madoka Magica actually getting its own credit
Yes.
card. But
Yes.
there's also like what I know, Gundam's gotten a couple. There was
Right.
Certain Magical Index had one. Astro Boy had a couple, I believe.
Right. Lucky Star.
But it's interesting that you can have all these options in Japan, and yet
Yeah.
we never get a damn thing over here.
Yeah, well, then again, I mean, I'm pretty sure like there's a lot bigger market for that.
Oh, there's a
Like,
huge market over there. I'm just like, I would like to see these companies do the same thing that, say, like Ami Ami does and Good Smile
right,
does, where they're
right.
primarily focused on their Japanese audience, but
Mm-hmm.
they've reached, across the ocean to actually fans worldwide, especially here
Right,
in the States.
right. But how you would do credit cards, I'm not entirely sure.
I don't know. You have to do some collaboration with a local bank for
Well,
something like that.
I guess what you could do is if you somehow had a stamper, might be able to just like dupe one of your other credit cards and just stamp it with the number and
Maybe, yeah,
everything.
maybe that could actually work out. But this isn't in the only Fate Zero news.
Right.
Coincidentally, at the same time, there was an exhibit called Fate Zero Fourth Grail War that opened
Mm-hmm.
up in Nagoya. And figure fans love Fate Zero among a number of other series. They have some fantastic figures. I have a Saber figure of my own.
Right.
But then they were showcasing some things there that people would love to own, but obviously can never, it's not going to be for sale.
Mm-hmm.
We had life-size 1/1 scale figures from characters from the Fate Zero series.
Yes.
I
That
please
is
do want.
agreed.
And they also have another one right here. And I mean, they're nicely detailed. They have this one, for Archer has a nice background that ties in with it. They didn't have figures for every single character. They had, for a number of the other fighters, I should call them, that they were actually just life-size cardboard cutouts, which I could easily see that becoming more of a for sale item than these figures. But then again, oh no, who knows what's going to happen with those.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yes. Let's move on. Let's talk about a manga.
All right.
Let's talk about, before that, there's a series on the BBC, and it was brought over stateside. It wasn't on BBC America. It was actually shown on PBS of all stations. And it was a really, really good miniseries called Sherlock. Have you seen that yet, Brian?
I have not actually.
Wow, okay. This is something you need to catch up on. Thankfully, it's very simple and very easy to catch up on because there's only 3 episodes per season.
Really?
Now each episode, though, is literally like an hour and a half long. They're like mini movies, every single episode.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
They take a modern take off of a classic, Sherlock story.
So is each episode a single story, or do the 3 actually connect?
There's an individual story per episode, but they have stuff tying into a broader story, basically Sherlock versus Moriarty. And Moriarty in this series is friggin' genius. He plays a... I guess you can't call him a working sociopath. He's a genius. He's absolutely brilliant, but he has this streak of... You think he's off kilter when he first meets him, and it's not much of a spoiler. Like I'll give an example. Like when he meets him, it's like, "Oh, you must be Sherlock." Hi. I'm like, wait a minute. Like he's a little off kilter, and it's fantastic.
Nice.
But the reason why I'm bringing this up, it's been so popular. I mean, the second season's already aired in Britain. Hopefully, it'll be brought over here via PBS soon. That it has a very big following in Japan. To the point, they're making a manga adaptation of the series.
Nice.
And I'm looking at this. I mean, let me give you this picture here. Okay, the drawings depict the characters very well. That's pretty spot on for an adaptation.
Right.
And I'm looking at this, and I'm like, this can only lead to what already has to be a multitude of just yaoi doujinshi that's out there of this pair.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, it's gotten to the point where the man who actually plays Sherlock in the BBC series, Benedict Cumberbatch, has actually stated that there's a ton of fanfiction out there and goes out of his way to even state certain manga adaptations have done this as well. Or manga doujinshis, I should say.
Wow.
And now there's an official adaptation coming out in Japan.
So that only opens it up even more.
Exactly. I'm wondering, what can one expect from something like this? They say it's basically going to take the stories from the episodes themselves, so they can't go off too far.
Right.
But how far are they going to try to make a Japanese twist to this? What do you think?
I don't know. I get the feeling that they're still going to set it in London, but I think because it's in a manga, and implied potentially an anime, I think maybe they might kind of have more, I guess you could say, like extreme like action, like kind of basically be able to achieve stuff that you just couldn't do in live action.
That's true. There was a chase scene in the first episode that I could definitely see in a manga form. They can definitely turn into more of like a parkour kind of thing. So I'll give it a shot when it comes out on newsstands in Japan. I'm sure there'll be someone taking pictures of them, throwing them up online. I'll give it a shot. I'll give it a read and see how it's going to go. But I can only see this just going straight to the boys' love section.
Well, it sounds like it already has. So.
Yes. All right. What else should we talk about? Should we talk about some games, or should we talk about... You know what? Let's talk about Final Fantasy. There's a lot to talk about Final Fantasy this week.
Yes, that is true. I guess starting with the unveiling of the next game.
Yes.
which is Lightning Returns, Final Fantasy 13 3, I guess you could call it.
Yeah, it's basically 13-3. Yet they're
Hmm.
gonna call it more like a spin-off, like a one-off of the first two.
Hmm.
But I only foresee this to be just a continuation of the story, which
Hmm.
is confusing because, from what I'm told, at the end of 13-2, there's some DLC that supposedly just ends, or just finalizes Lightning's story, and then they're gonna continue on with this.
Hmm. Well, I'm not too familiar with the how they ended it,
Hmm.
so I actually haven't finished the game. So,
And to be honest, before this Labor Day weekend, this past weekend, I was
hmm,
thinking, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and take this weekend. I'm not gonna really watch much anime or movies and whatnot. I'm just gonna sit down and freaking beat the first game because I haven't done that yet. It's been
right.
out for over 2 years now. I have 70 hours logged into a game,
Oh
and
wow.
okay, fine. I just plow through, and around Monday, around 8 p.m., I'm
Uh-huh.
like, all right, cool. I'm at the final boss. I'm at Orphan. I'm like, okay, this would be cool, and I get my ass handed to me hard
Oh
after like a
no.
45-minute battle.
Oh no.
So, unfortunately, because I'm now so masochistically stubborn, I'm
Uh-huh.
now going backwards in the game and gonna
Hmm.
grind for I don't know how many several hours
Oh
just so I can
jeez.
level up just to beat the freaking games I can play too.
Wow.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, but yeah, but what I was gonna say is I wasn't sure how open they left the ending, so I I have no idea. Because I mean, in previous games, most of the time they just kind of say, "Oh," then they move on with their life. So
That's the usual cop out that they have for something like this.
right, right.
Now,
So
if you go online, Squeenix actually has a website that has some gorgeous artwork. Let me show you just a couple pieces of artwork they've shown. The the world that this third game plays in is about lightning going through like 4 or 5 of these islands. This is actually one island. This is a huge island in the middle of this ocean,
hmm.
and um, the game centers around a 13-day countdown until the end of the world, of course, and players must save humanity within 13 days and 13 nights.
Hmm.
Okay. I was watching some of the videos during the presentation, which was actually well done. The executive producer, when he came out, was crafting the story and the design, and was like, okay, cool, I can actually get behind this.
Hmm.
They kind of took a page out of Legend of Zelda with Link actually being able to go back and forth through time.
I see.
So it's 13 days to the end of this world,
Hmm.
but it does not mean you have to beat it sequentially or chronologically.
Yeah,
You
I
actually
liked it.
jump all over the place.
I liked it better when the story was called Majora's Mask, but
And he did it in 3 days, damn it.
yep, exactly.
The boss, some of the enemies, they have some really nice designs. This is only one of the many dragons that they're going to have throughout the game.
Hmm.
Not much else is known. They wouldn't even show a picture of what lightning looks like in this game. They want to hold off to later on.
Hmm.
They almost trolled the audience to the point because at the end of the presentation,
Hmm.
their lead art designer came on stage and he had um, something on a canvas
Hmm.
held up, and it had a red it's like just a red blanket over it.
Right.
And he was going to show it. He was pulling up a little bit, and then he goes, "You know what? I'm going to hold up till later to actually show you that at another press conference a few months down the line." I'm like, "The hell!
Oh wow.
You take an oil painting of the main character, you put it on stage, you
You
cover it,
fold it
and
up.
troll."
Wow.
If this thing was actually streaming online, I can only imagine the comments would be like, "The hell!"
Oh
Oh well,
jeez.
but yeah. So, Lightning Returns Final Fantasy 13. That's going to come out, I think, sometime next year. But that's not the only Final Fantasy news. There
Yes.
is a crapload of stuff that Square Enix is bringing out.
Yep.
All right,
So,
yeah.
what's up next?
Let's talk about the 25th anniversary massive, massive box set.
Yes, the ultimate box.
To celebrate the 25th anniversary, on December 18th, fans in Japan, and if you have the money, I guess you can, import it.
Mm-hmm.
There is a 25th anniversary ultimate box set. Let me give you a little image what they were talking about. Can't see much of what it's in there, but let me tell you what's included with this.
Mm-hmm.
For PS1, Final Fantasy, Final Fantasy 2, Final Fantasy 4, 5, 6, 7, the international version, 8, 9. For PS2, you have 10, 11, Vanadel Collection 2, Final Fantasy 12, and for PS3, you have Final Fantasy 13. Not to mention Final Fantasy 3 on PSP.
Mm-hmm.
These are all the discs that come in this one package.
Yeah. Wait, so if it comes with FF11, does that mean you actually have to pay for that
I'm sure you probably have to
subscription?
pay for that subscription, yeah. I mean, it includes the Vanadel Collection 2, which probably some additional, content DLC and whatnot.
Right.
But, yeah, they're going to come with that. Not to mention an anniversary video disc, a visual book, an art book, I should say, a 2-disc anniversary music selection CD, a couple items for the reboot of Final Fantasy XIV. Why? I have no idea.
Yeah.
What else is there? They have this, which is actually a mini replica of Amano's 25th anniversary visual and stand. So this, I wish I can zoom in so you guys can see the detail on this. You can go to SquareEnix.com and they'll actually have full pictures of this. But it is absolutely amazing what's going to come out in this. This is going to take over. If you try to go through and play through all these, this has got to be at least a couple hundred hours, if that.
I would say more like a couple thousand hours.
Couple thousand? Okay, I was gonna say about 700 hours, but then again,
Actually, yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Considering the earlier ones, I don't think took that much time.
now normally if you had a first generation PS3, you can play all these games, with the exception of 3, which is they included the UMD for the original PSP. It's not even gonna be for the PS Vita,
Right.
so it's like for the hardcore completionist. And given the fact how much this damn thing is,
Yeah.
you have to be hardcore to shell this kind of money.
Yeah. Well, but then again, I mean, considering what you get in it, that
True.
doesn't
You
sound
are
too
getting
bad.
your money's worth.
Yeah.
The price for all this goodness is 35,000 yen, about $450 US right now.
Yeah.
And it has to be exclusively through Square Enix's eShop. You can't buy it at a second-gen retailer. You can't buy it at AmiAmi.
Mhm.
It's just through Square Enix.
And I'm guessing they probably will not take orders from the U.S.
I have no idea. The fact that it's on Square Enix's eShop, which I believe is Japanese only, probably not. You
Yeah.
probably have to go through a proxy, and then you have to add another $150 off of that. Then you have to
Yeah.
add shipping. Yeah, this will cost, I would say, a U.S. fan close to $600 to $700.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
But it is the 20th anniversary, and it is one hell of a box set.
Yeah. Agreed.
Oh, well, what are they going to think of next? I know. Miku.
Yes. Let's see, which one should we go to? To the...
Let's go with Miku's next concert, which is
Okay.
different from what she's known for. Let's say that.
Yes. So, Miku is going to be actually performing with the Japanese Philharmonic Orchestra.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy.
And it's going to be, let's see here. So the, let's see, songwriter Isao Tomita, who's done a handful of anime music in the far, far past.
About the late 60s.
Yeah, is actually composing a full concert to be played by the Japan Philharmonic Orchestra with Miku as the singer.
I'm kind of split on this. I mean, what's your thoughts on it, Brian?
I'm wondering if they're going to try to use the projector screen like they did in the past, but the problem I can see with that is that you can't really have the concert hall darkened because you still want to see all the performers and stuff.
True, very true.
So I'm guessing they might just have like a screen over the stage or something.
Maybe.
Yeah.
My whole thing that I'm kind of split on is her voice. And basically, the Vocaloid 3 package
Mm-hmm.
can use Vocaloid 2 sound pack, so you can use Miku's voice, which is what they're probably going to do
Right.
for this. She has a great voice for pop songs, for
Mm-hmm.
even J-rock songs,
Mm-hmm.
maybe a little ballad or two. Especially Luca's voice pack is actually
Right.
fantastic for ballads.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm trying to see how her voice would blend in with a backing choir and an orchestra, or would it just pierce through like a laser?
Well, at the same time, there is the append packs,
True, very true.
which mix up the which give you, different uh different tones
Hmm.
from her. So you can kind of get her to sing a lot more variety of styles than the original voice pack allowed.
Okay. So you think that with one of the appends add-ons, they would actually be able to blend her voice a little better towards the backing vocals?
I believe so,
Okay.
and a lot of the composers have gotten really good at like using the Vocaloid software to get just the right sound. If you listen to some of the recent singles that came out, like yeah, they've gotten her voice to sound really good given the pretty strict limitations of the Vocaloid 2 system. So,
Okay. Well, then I will definitely give it a shot. Then I was, like I said, I was split at first, but
mhm.
yeah, we'll see what happens, what they can do with it. They
Yeah,
have time to work on it.
yeah, definitely.
All right. Let's talk about something that I've enjoyed for a very long time.
Hmm.
Evangelion. Especially
Yes.
Evangelion's crossover campaign, which has gone on for I forget how many years, with UCC or Ueshima Coffee Company.
Right.
They have a bunch of great stuff. They've always every couple of years. I know when the series came out and then the first movies came out, they had the
Hmm.
crossover, and they
Hmm.
had basically it's the UCC coffee cans with the Eva characters in multiple different poses and outfits.
Right.
And with the fact of the third new Evangelion movies coming out,
Hmm.
they of course they decided to revive it, and they have some really cool designs on these ones.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring these up right there.
Yep.
You could definitely have a more modern flair compared with aside from the school outfits, but it's definitely
Hmm.
a more modern flair in terms of their casual outfits than before.
Yeah.
Now, what's nice about this is that when you buy them, it's not really like an individual. You get one of these cans. You can buy the whole thing. You
Hmm.
can buy a 6-pack, which is one of each for about 720 yen. We're talking like less than $10.
Hmm.
That's a nice deal.
Hmm.
If you wanna, you can actually buy this by the case if you really wanted to, which
Right.
is 30 cans for about $45.
Hmm.
Okay, I'll give that. And if you buy the case, it comes with a clear file of one of the characters. It looks really nice. That's if you're a hardcore fan, that's what you want to go for.
Yeah.
My,
Wait, so that means it looks like it comes with one of the images used on the cans. So if you wanted to collect all the clear files, that means you need 6 cases then?
exactly. It's gonna be expensive. So as always, you find the hardcore of hardcore fans actually
Yeah.
buying that, and that's cool. If you have the money for it, more power to you.
Yeah, and you gotta love coffee too.
Oh yeah, coffee's damn good, especially UCC coffee.
Yes, agreed, agreed.
Although I'm kind of preferred to the rainbow coffee just because it has I just completely forgot his name. The actor that is associated with the rainbow coffee. He's done like 30 commercials for them. I just blanked. Oh, I'm horrible. He was in Men in Black.
Oh, wait. Tommy Lee Jones?
Yeah, Tommy Lee Jones. Yeah,
Yes.
he has a selection of hilarious commercials where he plays like an alien coming down to Earth and just viewing the culture, which he landed in Japan for it.
Oh, yes, I
And
remember those commercials.
I think
yeah.
my favorite one out of all of them was when it was based like in the 70s and he was doing an imitation of like a 70s cop show. So he's like rushing around trying to follow the bad guys. It was hilarious.
Mhm. Nice.
It was Suntory Boss. Okay, gotcha. Thank you, Michael. But one thing I got to say about this is all of
Mhm.
the designs on the cans and the designs on the pack of the side of the 6-pack is very nice. I would love to make a wallpaper out of all that. So I went onto their website, did some searching, and there's not a wallpaper of all the characters together. There are, however, individual ones. So I decided to take like 30 minutes last night, download them, put them together, and decided to make this. And I think this just showcases what I'm talking about, the new designs. especially the fact they have the Nerve logo like kind of like stained into their the jeans.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like this. I will admit I'm a sucker for good advertising. This is damn good advertising. If I
Yep.
could, I would literally like just probably pre-order or order a 6-pack and have it shipped internationally.
Hmm.
If anybody's interested in this wallpaper, I'll post up links in the chat at the end of the show. But yeah, so Ava's teaming up with UCC again, and it's all good times.
Yep.
What else should we bring up? Should we talk about some anime? What's coming up soon, or?
Let's see here. Let's get before we move on to all the anime, let's get the rest of the game news
Okay,
out of the
go
way.
for it.
Why not? All right. So, I'll let you take the other one. I will take the iOS
Go for it.
game. So, the Japanese game maker Epic has announced that they're going to release a petite Blackrock shooter game for the iOS. And translated, the title reads Petite Blackrock Shooter, Pursue the Mystery of the Sexy Planet.
And they're not kidding by the images.
And it features character design by Chanko, who actually visited AX a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And that was pretty cool meeting him. And then so, yeah, pretty much has to solve a mystery. Let's see. Yeah, so I don't think the details of the story are out just yet.
No, they're just screenshots that have come out so far. Obviously, they definitely utilize the touch interface as best they can. It almost looks like a 3DS interface when you use the stylus. And the actual gameplay itself, you can see, is actually side-scrolling. It's almost like almost an homage to like the 8-bit side-scroller. And forgive the dogs barking in the background. So it could be interesting. I laugh at the fact that the whole sexy side that they had to throw into this combined with the super deformed version of Blackrock Shooter.
Yeah, I guess just to make it more, I don't know, accessible to the public. This is another way to sell Miku to non
Sex sells.
fans.
Let's leave it at that, I guess. I mean,
Fair
this
enough.
isn't the first time this game actually came out. An initial version came out on the Nico Nico website last year. It helped promote the original Blackrock Shooter game for the PSP.
Right.
So I don't know if they've actually expanded upon it. When it came out for browser, I played it for like 30 seconds, had no idea what I was doing, so I closed it. So maybe now it's gonna be on iOS. Maybe there might be an English version, so I can know why I'm.
I mean, they did release. Sega did release Miku Flick, which is a music game for.
Actually, I have it on my iPad.
Yeah, I've been playing it on my phone as well. I haven't gotten to mess around with Miku Flick 2 yet, although they said that includes characters beyond just Miku. So.
And I know on a side note with Miku that, of course, they're coming out with almost every single week with new outfits and new character designs for all the vocaloid characters for Project Eva F. The latest one, and I'll probably post them in post-show, it's her in... It's Miku cosplaying as Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh, yes. They actually had that in... what was it? The last one for the PSP.
Really?
I think that was Project Diva Extend, I think.
It looks more like it was like workout clothes, like sweatpants and sweatshirt with a hoodie. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it was the song was Neko Mimi Switch. If you look up the demo for it, I'll drop you a link in the meantime. But yeah, she actually has a lot of mascot costumes.
Okay.
And the demo video for the PSP game actually has her switching throughout all of the different mascot costumes throughout the video, even though I don't think the game itself actually does that.
And the fact that they have mascots, especially the fact that one of the parent companies is Sega, which has a plethora of characters to select from. So okay, I can see that ties in very well.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's talk about the other video game news. This year's not the only 25th anniversary for a video game franchise. The other one is Metal Gear. This series has been definitely on more systems than Final Fantasy, I would assume. And to help celebrate the 25th anniversary, they announced two things. let's talk about the game first. It's called Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes. This one's going to explore more of the origins of the Metal Gear story.
Mm-hmm.
They released a 10-minute preview of the game. There is no way we're going to be able to show that much right now. I'll show maybe like the first 2 minutes so you can get an idea of what to expect from this. The game is being planned for both current and next-gen consoles. So
Mm-hmm.
even if it comes out like on a 360 or PS3,
Mm-hmm.
the quality will probably take a significant jump once it, maybe even goes to PC or whatever the next-gen systems are going to be
Right.
called. The PS17, the Xbox 1480, I have no idea. But let me show a first couple minutes of this, and we'll come back later.
All right.
But yeah, so that's only a taste of what to expect from the full 10-minute trailer you can find on multiple websites, especially on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
The other bit of the news, and Michael and I talked about this a little bit last week on From Mother's Basement, is Kojima Productions announced they're going to work on a Metal Gear live-action film.
Hmm.
Okay, it has potential. The fact that Kojima himself is backing this. Some of the people who've actually announced to be working on this project are actually pretty high caliber.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly Avi Arad, who's actually worked on the original Spider-Man trilogy, some of the X-Men films. He's actually been working with DreamWorks for a bit, and actually is actually a chair over at Production IG for a possible live-action Ghost in the Shell movie to be brought over stateside.
Oh, very interesting.
So this guy's definitely has his fingers all over the place, and especially when it comes to this kind of movie adaptation.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't said anything about who's playing Snake, who's playing any character. They haven't even gotten as far as fully, completing the script yet. They're
Right.
still working on that part, but they decided to come out during their 20th anniversary event and state, yes, we are working on a live-action movie. It's going to be produced by Columbia Pictures, and
Mhm.
Sony Pictures Entertainment's actually going to distribute it.
Nice.
So you have some good backing. You have an
Mhm.
excellent creative team backing this up. We have no word yet beyond that who's going to play what character.
Mm.
I'm actually stoked for this. If there's any company out there who can actually probably, I would say, get close to the source of the story,
Right.
I'd say would probably be Kojima Productions.
Yeah.
Because I doubt Kojima would allow any company, especially any American company, to take his beloved Metal Gear franchise, and we're gonna say, oh, we're gonna throw in the year 4037, where everyone's a floating corpse. I don't know. Yeah. So that's cool. They're gonna work on that. Once we get more information, you'll find it on both the shows and on the website OtakuLife.net.
Mhm.
Okay, let's get to some anime.
Yes.
And let's start off with a new commercial, or new trailer, I should say, for the anime K. There's been a lot of interesting bit of news going around with this series about who's actually behind it,
Mhm.
who's going to be part of the Gora Project GORA project members. And when they finally released an English narrated trailer, I was thinking, okay, cool, we're going to get some really good information.
Mhm.
Not really. Let me play the trailer, and you'll know what I'm talking about. I gotta say something first off.
What's up?
The way the person who's narrating is talking,
Uh-huh.
I swear it sounds like this anime was aimed at the kids WB generation.
Hey, it's got dubstep.
Okay, yeah, it has dubstep. You can't go wrong with the wub. Taking a page from Borderlands 2 now.
Oh yeah. Oh man, that trailer. I remember I literally had to I actually waited for the trailer to loop to actually make sure I was seeing that trailer correctly.
96.4% more wub wub.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the way he's announcing it sounds like almost like a Saturday morning cartoon. It's not really sounding as hardcore as they try to make it look. I will admit, the animation looks stunning.
Right.
The
right.
quality of it.
Right.
As far as what's going to happen in this series, no idea. No
Yep.
freaking idea.
No freaking
We have
idea.
information on the cast and crew,
Mm-hmm.
like Shingo Suzuki, who actually worked on Marduk Scramble, which needs to finish. Freaking Will is the director and the character designer, which makes sense because it looks so similar to that. If you haven't seen Marduk Scramble, by the way, go
Mm-hmm.
find it. It's online. I think the first two parts are available online right now.
Okay.
Part three isn't even out in Japan yet, if I'm not mistaken.
I see.
So this is going to be released in Japan October 4th.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so Animax should be actually showing this, I'm guessing, on the 5th or maybe even the 6th. Even though it says, same day, same date and whatnot, the
Mm-hmm.
news article that came across with this video is actually stating otherwise. So within 24 to 48 hours of it being streamed in Japan, it's going to be streaming online for here in the States.
Oh, very nice.
So I like the fact they're doing the simulcast. A lot of companies have been doing that to try to get the hype up over here in stateside. And the problem with that being is that, hey, look, the series is awesome. You can watch it streaming live
Mm-hmm.
online. When it's over, when can I buy the Blu-ray? In about 9 to 12 to 18 months.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Funimation is getting better though. I will say that. Yeah. So that's I just recognized one of the one of the voice cast is actually a couple actually. Miyuki Sawashiro's gonna be in this. Daisuke Namikawa. One
Uh-huh.
actually is a singer. Daisuke Ono is gonna be play
Yeah,
a part in
and
this. So
Tomokazu Sugita, Mamoru
it's
Miyano,
actually it's
Jun
actually a pretty good cast.
Fukuyama is wow. Yui Horie even. Okay,
Holy crap,
this
Horie is in it. I didn't even see that the first time around.
okay. This actually kind of changes
Okay.
things
The voice
now.
cast has just risen level of epicness on this to it. Yeah, okay. I think I will give this show a shot. The animation looked cool. They used dubstep, and now they have an epic voice cast. Okay, I'm good. All right, so that's coming out in October. When it comes out, we'll let you guys know what's going on. And there's people behind me. Anyways, yes, my family. Let's talk about Mass Effect for a bit.
Okay, so
So go ahead.
all right, yeah. So the Mass Effect anime, Paragon Lost.
Hmm.
They delayed it by another month plus.
Yes.
So it is now being released on December 28th,
Hmm.
which means it will not be out in time for Christmas. For those of you, wanting to ask Santa for a copy of Mass Effect Paragon Lost as your Christmas present from Santa this year.
Damn you, Santa. I mean, Funimation. I mean, no.
But I mean, other than that, let's see. So it's set before the events of the third game.
Which is good because I haven't played the third game yet. I've only played 1 and 2.
Mhm. So yeah, that'll probably be a good way to kind of like bridge the gap between them.
And now I'm kind of tempted, like, even to hold off until this comes out to play the third game. Then again, I might not have the time until then, so
Hmm.
I guess it might just work out. For those
Right.
of you who haven't seen the trailer that came out in July, let me play it again for you. It's only a minute long, but it gives you a sense of what to expect from the series, and it actually, I think, has the style of the Mass Effect universe pretty well down. But let's go and show it. So it looks good. It looks fun.
Right.
It's just not going to come out later.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
That's all.
Oh well.
Not a big deal.
As a little bonus, just for since we're talking about the Mass Effect in anime and whatnot, Kotobukiya has actually posted a teaser image of their new Bishojo Commander Shepard statue, the FemShep model, and here's the shot of it.
Hmm.
Okay, it definitely a Bishojo style of FemShep.
Right.
It's the only problem with figures like this is the fact that because you can have so much customization of the characters and the facial expressions and how they look,
Right.
that my FemShep, because I played FemShep, I didn't decide to go with the male Shep,
Hmm.
that this version looks absolutely nothing like the my character. But you know what? That's perfectly fine. This is
Right.
Kotobukiya's take on the character,
Right.
and I want to
Exactly.
see a full res pic of the entire outfit because I want to see how well they got that body armor down and how much
Hmm.
did they, for lack of a better term, anime style it.
I wouldn't doubt it.
You think they would do something like that?
Why not? I
Okay.
mean, it's Bishoujo series, so
True.
Why not?
As long as I don't see like, oh, this would be like badass, suit, and it's gonna be like, oh, tee no, bad.
No, I mean she has a pretty serious business face on in
Sure,
that
okay,
teaser
yeah,
pic, so I'm pretty sure they'll take it seriously.
gotcha. All right, well, let's talk about the two series that are announced. A second season is coming very, very soon.
Yes. I want to talk about Medaka
Go for it.
Box. All right, so Medaka Box second season, they're coming, but it's airing on starting October 10th. So it's being called, let's see, Medaka Box Abnormal.
Which is an apt title. If for those who have seen the season 1 to its completion,
Yeah.
I would say near the end, Medaka Box out Dragon Ball Z's Dragon Ball Z.
Well, okay, yeah, because first of all, it's a jump manga.
Yes.
For starters, it's a jump manga, and the second one is that you could tell that the author knows his jump manga because he throws homages to all the other jump classics throughout the manga. If you've ever read it, I haven't watched the anime. Have you read the manga?
I've read the manga and I've watched the anime, and it follows it fairly closely.
Okay, so
There's a couple creative
so-
freedoms when it comes to some of the, issues they have to deal with, but overall they keep pretty close to it.
All right, I may have to take a look at
Yeah,
that then.
but at the end, yeah, it was just like, wow, they out Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Z. Holy crap!
Nice.
So that's coming out. And the other one is a series that I've only watched the first episode, to be honest, just because of its content. Yet I've been told by so many people to watch it because it gets better than keeps on getting better. I just can't get past the first episode. I'm talking about High School DxD. It's not even an anime series. It's not even borderline ecchi. It's just hentai. You
Nice.
can't get any more hentai than this. Well, okay, you can't. I can't even say that. Yes, you could always get more hentai,
Yeah.
but for a series that was actually shown on TV, this is as hentai as you can get.
I see.
I mean, it was only 12 episodes. I only watched the first episode, and I think within the first 15 seconds, the clothes were off. Something
Is
like
that
that.
right?
Oh yeah, it's.
All right, I'll have to put that on my
As
to
Kodoku puts it
watch
in the
list.
chat, if you ignore the boobs, it's actually pretty okay. That's the problem. How could you? Okay.
I
There
think
are
you should
so-
just quit while you're.
Yeah, I have to. Yeah. Maybe one of these days, if I'm drunk, I'll continue on with it and see if it's worth watching the rest of it. Bernie's out. You can't get more hentai than hentai. Depends on what level of hentai you want to go to. Rule 34 is definitely in effect on this series.
Yes.
So they actually announced a second season. There's already been a first season that had 12 episodes and an OVA. So a lot of fans in Japan were, oh god, yes, we're getting a second season. Not much more I could say else beyond that. It's going to start, I think, sometime in October, November. Yeah, something around that time.
Yeah. For
Not much known other than a second season's coming down the pipe.
Let's see.
Yeah, it's weird. But let's wrap up the anime section with one final thing.
Sure.
An anime series that's actually the part 3 of a video game actually. Started off with Chaos Head, then it went to Steins Gate, and now it's Robotics Notes. They've showed a couple teaser trailers and then one full trailer earlier this year about this. They call it a science adventure, and honestly, it's pretty accurate for what it is. They actually released a new trailer. This is 2 minutes long. It has some really nice, images about what to expect from this series. If you actually played the game, you'll probably recognize many of the locations and some of the characters. I'm sure that Production IG will probably give their own little spin on it as well, but it's left to be seen. So let's play this.
All right. Very nice.
Very, very sweet. Of course, the animation style definitely has some high production values. I mean, it's Production IG. You can't get much better than that.
Exactly.
I have to say that in closer to the end, where they had the guy with the mask, and I swear he looked like he had like inspirations from like Char or some other old school Gundam.
Right.
So I like to see where this is coming from. This is actually one series out of everything that's coming out this fall. This is probably the one that I'm actually most looking forward to.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the stories of the previous ones did not disappoint.
Oh,
so.
God, yes. Steins Gate was unbelievably awesome. It was one of the only series in that season that made me scream at my my monitor. I'm just like, the hell are you doing when it does the cliffhangers? And the fact that I know I have to wait a week, it just drives me up the freaking wall.
Yeah,
So
there is something really different about watching series as it comes out versus being able to marathon it.
There is. It's the fact that you only have a limited amount of time that you have to devote to a series, rather than you have to watch it week in, week out.
Right.
It definitely drags out different emotions throughout the time frame.
Yes, and the last time I really did that was the season when Higurashi Kai and what was the other one? Why am I blanking? R2, Code Geass R2.
Oh yeah, I could definitely see Code Geass R2 doing that.
Yeah.
Because if there's a cliffhanger or something like really shocks you in a series of your marathon, you're like, holy crap, that was cool or weird or what the hell happened? Let me see what happened in like 30 seconds.
Yeah, exactly.
Not spending a week trying to speculate with everybody.
Yeah, agonizing over every episode ending. Yeah, that was...
There is yet to be a TV series stateside that has actually garnered that much emotion from me. So it's just more to the power of anime, so...
Yes.
But that's it for anime, and I want to throw in one final thing I wanted to talk about. It was the a new figure that was just announced by Good Smile Company.
Oh, yes.
This is, if you've ever seen Angel Beats, this is Tenshi, the angel. And I think Good Smile captured just the pure essence of the character in this new figure.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they spent an amazing amount of time on the quality, just with the facial expression. Those wings have a really nice wingspan. Let me get a back shot of them. Like really nicely detailed.
Yeah.
And then when you get a close-up of the face, I mean, there's that like shy, almost timid side of Tenshi that you don't see all the time, all the time in the series. You don't get that till later on.
Right.
I think this captures the essence of this character perfectly.
Very
now,
nice.
she is going to be 1/8 scale. And people have time to save up because, well, sometime I should say, because she's not going to be released till next March. That's her initial setup or release date.
Okay.
This is the pre-order time frame for this is very tiny though. It started today, and it goes until October 30th. So you have until end of next month to pre-order her. She is going to be a bit on the pricey side, but given she is 1/8 scale, and that's an amazing amount of detail, it's money well spent. It's going to be 8,400 yen, so you're looking about a little over $100 when you include shipping, which is about 2,000 yen. You pay for it by the end of October. You'll get her next March. She's 200 millimeters tall. She's going to be a decent size, and I think it's just perfect. I've slowly started looking at figures again, just because I have a decent collection of figures already. I put them up when I can. I mean, I broke down and I had to buy Luca. There was no way I was going to skip on her, and I paid like $120 for her.
Nice.
But I'm willing to look into these figures just to pass on what I think are some of the cream of the crop to you guys, the viewers. Not that I'm able to pick them up myself, but I want to at least spread the word around about some really nice stuff. So, really? I just saw X Styles in the chat, which is Troy. You actually helped us on the previous show.
Awesome.
Hope you're doing all right, Troy. I haven't seen you in a while. I hope you're doing okay after your he just recently moved, so hopefully that wasn't too painful. But that's the figure I wanted to talk about for this episode. I know you you just sent me a link for Nendroid Alice Margatroyd. Oh, that's
Yeah,
nice.
with also there is a Nendroid. If you scroll further down,
Yeah,
there's a
I'm gonna put
Nendroid.
up on the screen real quick so people can see that.
Yeah, probably just
So
go through the pictures from the top to kind of explain. So yeah, they have like they include the dolls that she has, um,
that's cute.
and then if you go down,
That's
you
actually a
can see
nice
the
detail for an Nendroid.
yeah, yeah. But then if you scroll down to about the 3/4 point in the post,
Okay.
you can see the bonus item that is just absolutely killer, right there.
Wait, what? What?
Yeah. You know how they've recently been doing, because the iPhone does not have a cell phone strap
Yeah.
ring on it, that people have been either using a method like inserts, but basically they just plug into the headphone port. Like it's a plastic plug that goes into the headphone jack. There's been a lot of that recently, and they've definitely started expanding upon it. So this one, it has one of the dolls that sits on your phone just by plugging it into the headphone jack. Yeah.
That is awesome.
And then if you scroll to near the last photo in the post is the other Nendroid,
Ah, yes.
just coming out with Alice, which is Yuyuko. So
Now these are up for pre-order right now, or
I believe so.
$295? Oh, available tomorrow in Japan. So.
But this was posted, I think, yesterday or the day before.
Oh, okay, yeah. So it should be
Which
available
means
right
that-
now.
Yes.
And because it's Nendoroid, you're probably looking about, I would say, close to $40-50
Yeah.
for the pre-order, a little bit
Yes.
more for the shipping. Which, I
Yeah.
mean, for some people, Nendoroids, certain Nendoroids are worth that.
Yeah.
Not all of them. For me, there's very few that I will pick up.
Oh. Speaking of which
one you got?
I'll show off in post show.
Okay.
I'll wait for
But that's basically what we want to talk about for the episode. We'll have a short post show. Anything you want to promote, Brian, before we take off?
If you hop on my SoundCloud, I made my first official remix. Like
Nice.
previously, I did mashups and whatnot, but this time I actually made a actual remix, and it's posted on my SoundCloud. Maybe if you want to play a little bit of it in the post
Yeah,
show,
I'll play a little bit in the post show.
I'll drop a link in my. Do you mind if I just say the URL of my
Go for it.
SoundCloud? It's soundcloud.com/Preyx, Preyx.
And I'll
If
put
you
up
go
a
there,
little
you'll
lower third as well. So.
Sounds good.
All right, everybody. Well, thank you very much for joining us for this episode of AniBreak. Stay tuned for post show, and of course, From Mother's Basement is going to be on this Friday at 7 p.m. All right. Well, thank you very much for AniBreak. I'm Jason,
And I'm Bryan.
and we will see you next week.
Pretend you're touching